So I want to talk about a bunch of intersecting topics in this like one stream of ideas, right? And it relates to the society interface, but not the society interface. I'm sorry. It relates to psyche and my obsession with, well, I guess it's an obsession with asteroid mining, right? But it's about what, like, just mining this isn't gonna help us, right? This goal has other steps to it, right, that I believe are necessary for us to like truly be able to have a society of people that can access, utilize, right, and like synchronize an infinite amount of resources, right, with their society, right? Now, I guess a quick one, right? A quick main point, but in this discussion, it's a side point, right? I envision, right, this being done by the government or some authorized body, right? Who they make do it, I don't know. How they make it do it, I don't really know, or, you know. But I feel like, right? I envision this as these resources being given an equal share to all citizens, right? And the government gotta maintain a portion or some shit, and that needs to be integrated in that system, and where the states ask the government for money, right? There's a whole like constitutional system for that or whatever, right? That needs to be integrated into that, right? Because we can't be having we're sorry, the dam killed your children, or the earthquake killed your children, or some other bullshit, like, none of that, right? None of that, I don't know, right? But that's right. But I don't know, the government scares me, so I don't want to go on this topic, right? I feel like the people need to have this, right? Every citizen, well, every person in the world, honestly, but I'll keep the pool of the idea smaller. Every citizen needs to have a direct proportional cut of all these resources, right? And right, so that's one thing, that's a side point. And I've kind of brought this up before. I also brought up, like, I feel like there needs to be an open marketplace where people, right, almost like a Wall Street, but like a space resources street. And it needs to be in Brooklyn. It needs to be in Brooklyn for sure. Fuck Manhattan, right? And then, right, but this is, right, I've all brought this up before, right? But this one is really important, right? Right now, we are behind in a lot of our material resource research. I guess academically, we're not behind, right? But the thing is, like, we don't own a lot of these private academic, and by we, I mean, like, you don't really know what happens with it, right? Like, and that's not really a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, right? But, right, a lot of, it's not like, right, material research, right, especially with metals, right, is extremely important. Like, I feel like almost, you know how we have like public universities, right? We have a system of public universities. Like, they should have, right? Every community or every university or whatever should have, like, okay, wait, there's another part to make this make sense, right? Right? It needs to have some sort of like camp, I don't know, what's the name? What would be the name for it? Like another institution, right? In where all the things, like a lot of things related to sort of material processing, right? Material research, right? And and the important part, right, is like small like 3D printing, right? We need to focus on 3D printing, especially metal 3D printing, right? And it needs to be locally accessed, right? Like everyone now has infinite resources, right? Or not an infinite resource, but they get like a small, you know, like your income tax of space research, right? Well, there needs to be a place, right, where, like, it's not going to do everything. I don't know. It's not good, but it's a place of both research, right, and practical use. You know, like what would be 3D printed? I don't know. You see those slabs that they put on the when they try to fix stuff, right? Like they could 3D print those slabs and then throw it back in the hopper. You understand? There's also this whole cradle. There's this whole like recycling thing to it, right? It's also right. But that falls all under like material research, right? The recycling, the printing. You know, it could literally be a university / mini factory / like, right? Okay, but like why? Why is this so important to me, right? Because especially with metals, right? And these types of resources, right? Their science, right? Our interaction with these things, right? In an abstract academic way or with a direct, you know, tactile way. I don't know, everything, you know what, or like, I don't know, right? Right? It is the perfect representation, right, of the absolute infinite amount of possibilities that is present in one small thing. Right? Like, we need to understand the importance of that, right? And the absolute insanity of infinite possibilities that can be done with just like one metal. I'm talking infinite. You can literally do all sorts of absolute beyond shenanigans. Look at this phone. This phone is the definition of absolute shenanigans. Look at this thing. Right? And obviously not everyone's going to give a fuck about how to fuck around with the electrons or the chemical deposition or mixture of fucking metals and shit, right? But if you could like walk in and be like, oh, well, what are you guys doing? There's like a group of people that like doing that, right? There's the group of people that like doing the work. There's like a trillion types of little people that like to do all sorts of weird stuff in between, right? And that's what we need to harness, right? Also, it kind of connects. Okay, right? It connects a bunch of other stuff that I'm always talking about, right? A cradle to cradle system, right? These metals are that already exists. There's a bunch of like recycling stuff around here, I guess, right? But we're gonna need more, I guess, because I'm talking about a lot of metals. A lot of metals. A lot of metals. There's gonna be a lot of recycling, and I don't know. We gotta master that too. The 3D printing is the key, but it's also kind of the hardest to envision, right? Because first of all, that's gonna step on a lot of people's toes. People are gonna be tight as fuck about that. There's a lot of, like, it's gonna be, oof, right? That's gonna be a problem. But I don't know. It's the future, right? And I don't know, dog. I don't know. You can't. We need to be able to 3D print shit like good. Wow. Because if we don't, I mean, we could already do pretty. I don't know. I'm not an expert in fucking metal stuff or whatever, but. Okay, we'll just keep it to sort of maybe like state stuff, communal, state government stuff. We'll keep it to that. Like, we gotta fix the piping, 3D print a pipe. You feel me? You know, right there and then. I guess they could order a pipe. But like, you know, I want there needs. Okay, I guess there's something I guess I gotta explain, right? And this is connected with the society interface, right? Like, when you envision, when you have a mental image of your community, right? A true connection to all of the elements and how they're moving and all of that, right? And then you can access it in like an intuitive way, right? Dog, like right now, motherfuckers go crazy with pieces of paper. All they gotta do is read a piece of paper and they'll lose their shit. They'll lose their shit. They're like, holy shit. All this and that and all sorts of shenanigans. You understand, right? So if we have a legit, look at this, look at politics. Look at me. Look at me. Look at you. Listening to me. Like, right? Look at politics, right? All the newspapers and shitty little videos, and we going crazy. We go, oh my God, we go crazy, right? So imagine a fucking interface where it's like you're direct to the source, and like in a hologram, like the building, you're like, oh my God, right? And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, right? That's what we want, right? That's what we want, because there's also the people who feel this way but don't really know how to interact with any of this, and it's like mad confusing, and it's like, oh, whatever, right? There's the people that pretend like they know stuff. That's me. I'm in that group, right? And there's the people that kind of know shit, but then once you know shit, you know you don't know shit. So it gets like, it's a fucking mess, right? Right? And it'll help the people like, I don't know, right? People are gonna get involved. I feel like there's gonna be some different type of involvement, right? And especially when it comes to little things, right? Sometimes there's a whole sub thing of idealism. Oh, here we go. This one's perfect, right? We have, right? And it expresses itself in a lot of different ways, unfortunately. Right? We have a lot of forms of like the idealist realities that we want to make real. I mean, duh, right? Look at, right? And a lot of it, right? The sub elements to these ideal stuff, right? Represented in society, right? People, right? Will want to, like, some people, people in your community want to take charge in those things, right? It's as simple as like your neighbor who will like sweep the whole block or something. I don't know, right? There's more to it, but like, it's also the same thing as like we want all white people or something. It's you know, there's different layers to the idealism, right? You know, but right, I want people, right, to, with the society interface, right, with, now that you give a mental connection, right, to the sort of superstructure that is your society, right? And now you have the tools, right? Like a 3D printer, right? And you live in your block, right? Or something, like you could take charge. You could be like, oh, I'll fix it. I don't know, right? Imagine that popping up. Imagine that popping up in the national superstructure of the whole society. And if you go, you zoom in here and that in this system and this layer and your block and the zip code and the community historical, boo, boo, boo. There it is. This guy fixed, on this day, he 3D, and he fixed it or some shit, you know? That would be fucking dope. Historians will go crazy. So the sociologists they're gonna lose their fucking shit. They're gonna, oh my God. They're gonna be like, this is the greatest thing in the world. Right? Like there's a lot of shit people are complaining about, and I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you could just solve them pretty easily. Like someone will be like, oh, I just solved the problem. And then if you get collectives of groups and then they get oh shit. I don't know. That'd be crazy, right? Like you in your community could petition and formulate the resolution through like the you know, and just get the construction workers to come, right? And they fix it or whatever. And yet you and everybody like fixed it. They did it, right? And it was no problem because it was like, okay, like we 3D printed the very complicated ass fucking hyper tube that filters our doo-doo, right? And make sure it'll I don't know, right? It's no problem. Can you 3D print the hyper doo-doo tube? Like, because now I feel like it's not that easy or some I don't feel like it's not that easy. I feel like it's a pain in the ass. I think it's a pain in the ass and I feel like the people, like other people doing it for us is not the best. I don't know. There's nothing wrong. I don't see a problem with our plumbing, right? But even if it's not to solve things, right? Just like we gotta build more of these things anyways. I don't know. What was I talking about? What was the whole point again? Oh, yeah. The importance, right? And oh my gosh, son. How do I stress this? How do I the things these metals could do is, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to explain this, son. It is someone's job, someone's destiny to do some shit. And it's gonna be like, holy, everybody's gonna be like, this is the craziest thing in the world. Oh my God. I don't know how to explain this. Oh, actually, let me go back. Let me go back to this thing about stepping on people's toes or whatever. I keep forgetting. Actually, I don't feel that bad because a lot of these people are rich. They're fine. They're fine. They need competition. I don't know. They better start making 3D printers or some shit. But I don't know. We could have mini foundries, right? I guess We don't gotta pick. We don't have to pick. That's because we're doing science, so we need all of it. They need all of it, every single one, and we can recreate really old ones too, because that's important. Because there was like we forget stuff, you know. I'm sorry. I don't know. We can't be limiting ourselves here, right? That's the mentality. This is the thing. That's the mentality. We cannot be limiting ourselves here. There is no need to limit ourselves. But yeah, nah, we need that. We need that. We need it. 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 Okay, I'm done.